Hello, Exile. Boom, chimp. Poof! Poof! Sir, what is this? Stormcloud 6-link and Limb Split 6-link, okay? Oh, it's interesting. Stormcloud can sell. Limb Split is shit, okay? First I wanted, but hey, Exalidor. So, it's about time to give it another try on the shafts. We currently have a total of 2,189 spent. And no, it hasn't linked yet. Please. Baby. Baby. Hey, we have an mbXtreme mode, okay? Just saying. How can you spam like that? I have fast fingers. Yes! Let's go, boys. Let's go. Holy shit, nice. We did it.
Incoming host. Intruders detected.
Oh shit. Ah, one socket tomb fists. That is Exalted Orb number 3. Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. Today, episode number, I think it is 7, if I'm right. Anyways, the daily update of the Bane Pop Occultist, my league start, my journey through the Conquerors of the Atlas and the Metamorph League. Although we're gonna say, or admit, that the Metamorph is just like this side part, although it's a new league, that should be the main focus, but the main focus this time around, 3.9 Conquerors of the Atlas, the change of the Atlas system into the Conquerors, new bosses. This is actually the main part. This is so fucking cool. Wanted to say some bad words that I probably got demonetized for. Anyways, today, 2 parts that I want to talk about. First of all, the small changes that I applied here. It's kind of the same as yesterday. Just small, quickly go over through the things that I changed. And then I want to talk about the specific chaos skills, the differences, because I kind of want to create not only a Bane character, I want to create the best chaos build in total, okay? And the second big thing is I want to go over the Awakener fight that I had today, and I reached the last phase. So I want to go over the VOD, and we're going to take a look at the Awakener fight, and I'm going to give you my impression, how I think it's working, and how I am doing it, and maybe this helps you on your tries on the Awakener as well. Alright, let's start with the first change that I made today on the build. First of all, I 6-linked my shafts. It took a total of, let me check my 6 links here. It took a total of 2,487 fusings. Alright, so this is my third 3-link. So I guess like Carcass check 31, Kane of the Unraveling, not gonna talk about that one. 50 fusings, 2 6-link, holy shit. This time around 2,500. Was quite expensive, especially with the fusing prices these days, cause holy shit, you get like 180 fusings for 1 Exalt, which is like 1 to 1.8, so for every Chaos you get 1.8 fusing, so fusing prices are ridiculous high, and I'd probably spend like 15 Exalts for fusings to get this shafts linked. But happily and luckily it is 6-linked, and now I can focus on other things. I added now the Void Manipulation. I added another bunch of 21-23 gems, so now all my gems here are level 21-23. This is just my way how I I want to invest, because I think like almost every single skill gem here, whether it's Val Discipline 21, 23, Herald of Ash, Burning Damage, whatever gem I use, I try to get the maximum. 21, 23, Val if the version exists, or in this case scenario, level 623 for the Arcane Search, which is also the maximum, okay? This is just my investment here, because I think if I switch builds in like a week or two when the Awakener is down and all that kind of stuff, the Atlas clear, then I think I will get a bunch of currency from all of these 21, 23 gems. Alright, the next change that I did, I was playing Blight before, right, in yesterday's video. I switched now to Essence Drain, right? It's the same setup. You have always the same gems. You have Efficiency, Control Destruction, Swift Affliction, Void Manipulation, plus the Skill Gem. And this is always your main setup for every single Chaos build. There's just a tiny little bit difference here. Usually you would go for an Empower support. This is currently level 2, still leveling this for the maximum damage. The only exception here is Bane, because instead of the Empower, we're gonna link the Despair Curse, okay? It is more damage to get an Empower level 4 instead of the Void Manipulation, but I would say I currently have like 600,000, and with an Empower level 4, I have like 610,000. So there's like 10,000 Shaper DPS difference between a multi-Exalt gem and Void Manipulation, right? So I don't think, at the min-max version, yes, but at the moment I rather focus on my Essence Drain setup, because an Empower here will bring me like 200,000 damage. So, and this brings me to the next topic. The rest of the gear is still the same, all the same items, still with the Obliteration ones for the explosions. So I just want to add, I switched from Blight to Essence Drain, and I 6-linked my chest. So with the change of Essence Drain, I don't need the Spreading Rot Jewels anymore for the Blight Wither effect, because I'm not using Blight anymore. Therefore, I'm using 2 of these Energy Shield, Chaos Damage over Time Multiplier, and Damage over Time jewels here. This one is actually almost perfect. I'm using 2 of those, which are pretty nice, and then still double energy from within to convert the life nodes into Energy Shield on the top side and on the bottom side. And now I took the Zealot's Oath. So, and this brings me to the next topic. What chaos skills do we have? We have Bane, we have Soul Rend, we have Essence Drain, we have Contagion, we have Blight, and I think that's it. So, why don't I want to stay with Bane only? Like I said in the start, Bane Pop Occultist will clear all content. There is one big thing that Bane cannot do. This is Regen Leech, okay? The only thing I have is the Energy Shield Recharge. And if I'm stepping on burning ground while I'm having like 30% life, I will not recharge. And sometimes if the Metamorphs do spawn a lot of shit on the floor that does like minor damage, but it still damages you, your recharge will not start. And sometimes it takes like 5 seconds until I get some kind of energy shield back. So I knew after like filling up my 5th complete stone, so I'm somewhere at 20 something watchstones, there's only 3 regions. Here I miss 1 watchstone, and here I miss, so I'm on 22 watchstones, 23. So I want to do this tomorrow. And what I found out when I'm doing all this high-end tier content, all the tier 16 maps to spawn the other conquerors, I want to have some reliable version of like energy shield gain, okay? That means what do we have? We have recharge, we have regen, and we have leech. Those are the 3 types that you have access to, right? Leech falls off on Bane because we don't have a direct hit. That means the leech is applied, or you get leech on a hit, alright? Bane does never hit. As you see left to the mana cost, there is no number. So, when I'm doing Bane, it deals 0 damage. The degen, the debuff the enemy gets, this is the chaos damage over time. This is the portion that he gets of damage, where the insane damage comes from. But there is no impact hit. That's why you cannot get bleeding, for example, when you apply Bane, right? Because you never hit the target. If you never hit, you cannot leech. There would be a way to fix that if you add flat chaos damage. Like on this jewel, I have chaos damage to spells. If I socket this one in now, for example over here, now you see that my Bane becomes damage. Bane has now 198 damage, and this is the impact hit. So 189, 189, 189. This is just different. This is an impact hit. Oh, and I forgot Dark Pact, but this is some... I'm talking here about chaos damage over time builds, not on spellcasters, because Dark Pact is a hit. You could leech life and energy shield from Dark Pact. But I'm not here to talk about Dark Pact, I'm talking about the Bane now. So, there would be an option. This is the added chaos damage support. The added chaos damage support gives you a bunch of chaos, as far as I know. So you would end up having a couple thousand damage on Bane. But if you only leech, like, I don't know, maybe 0.4% and you have 10 stages of leech, you're not like a melee or a caster where you have like multiple hits within 1 second, you know? So it needs like forever to get your leech going. And this is something, for me, not reliable. Another way would be if you take the Atziri's Promise. That has chaos damage leeched as life. Okay, we're energy shield, you're leeching life, that's bad. But we have the Soul Reaver over here, right? A Ghost Reaver. That says leech energy shield instead of life. So if I have the Atziri's Promise active, I can leech energy shield. Which is okay, which would work. But for example, I'm building this as a boss killer, right? And on the Awakener, I've never seen any ads. That means at some point, I'm not gonna have any kind of flask charges anymore. And I don't want to rely on a flask charge, other than I'm a Pathfinder. This is something different, but I'm an Occultist. So I don't want to rely all my source of leech on a flask. If this flask is gone or off, or you don't have any charges, you don't have any leech anymore, okay? So, which brings me to the next part, which is regen. Essence Drain and... or at least like, yeah, let's talk about regen first. Essence Drain does have a built-in mechanic that says, where is it? Hello? Ah, here it is. Second line of the green text, sorry. You are healed for a portion of the debuff damage. Here we are talking about you get life from the damage your Essence Drain is doing. And I'm not talking about the impact damage, I'm talking about the damage over time effect, right? And this counts as regen. So if you take Essence Drain, you're regening life. A way to fix that is to scale into Zealot's Oath that says life regen is applied to energy shield. So now as soon as something is hit with Essence Drain, as long as the target is like has the debuff that lasts for me like 3.8 seconds, which I'm constantly applying, I do have a reliable source of regen. There would be another source that I'm talking about here. Let's say, what is it called? Soul Rend. So, Soul Rend, if I can type it properly, Soul Rend, holy shit, Soul Rend. So, Soul Rend has a built-in mechanic. So, Bane does not have a built-in mechanic. Essence Drain has a built-in mechanic that lets you leech life from that, or regen life from the damage you're doing. And Soul Rend has 4% of spell damage leeched as energy shield. And Soul Rend has an on-hit damage and also a damage over time. But this, it's like a lot of damage, but in a super short duration, right? And the Essence Drain has a lot of damage on a long time of duration. So, the thing is that you could leech, but as a spellcaster, you're... like, it works different, you know? It's not like I could apply Bane, I could apply Essence Drain, and then I could spam the Soul Rend, right? To leech Energy Shield. The problem is, you're only leeching for the amount that you're, like, doing the damage here, right? So, the 0.6 seconds or something, or the impact hit in this case. And on Essence Drain, I have the dot on the target, and then know I will have the regen for the next 4 seconds, you know? Even if I'm capped, I'm having the regen for the full 4 seconds. And then I apply it again, or before that, and I will permanently have the regen, right? On Soul Rend, it's like that. You're full energy shield, you do the cast, and then as soon as you're full on energy shield, you stop leeching, because this is how leech works. Unless you're a Slayer and you have overleech, this is something different, right? But as soon as you're capped on your energy shield, you don't leech anymore. So that's why I think the Soul Rend leech is not a reliable source for me either. The next thing that is actually the more important thing, I am a dot class, right? We're totally fine with Soul Rend, but I don't have enough mana regen or mana gain that I could sustain permanently casting Soul Rend, right? And that's why I don't think that this is a good source of regen here. The next thing on the list would be talking shortly about the Wicked Ward, where the energy shield recharge is not interrupted by damage. So I think recharge, as I said before, sometimes it takes like 5 seconds until I get the recharge going. I mean, if it's going, you're full, easy clap, you know? But if it doesn't go, if you're constantly getting damage here and there before it starts recharging, you know, you're dead. This is why I wanted to have a second source of leech or regen or something, and this is why I decided to go for Essence Drain. In the next hand, talking about Blight, Blight has the most damage, but you're kind of melee with Blight, okay? I have to go to a target and and spam the Blight here. Let's say the waypoint is the target, I have to be at least this range. When I play this setup with a double curse setup or double dot setup with Bane and Essence Drain, I can be over here. The boss spawns, I'm doing 1, 2. It has both debuffs on it. It does like together like 1.5 million Shaper DPS at the moment. I'm having a regen. And now I have time for Bane lasts 4.5, Essence Drain lasts for 4.94. So 4.5 seconds basically that I can move around and dodge things, rather than staying here immobile and channeling Blight so it does damage, okay? So seeing all these Conquerors that are super easy with this build, even on here on these full watchtowers on the highest difficulty, but especially in Awakener, you never want to stand still. Metamorphs, if you stand still on some encounters, you're instantly dead. You never want to stop moving. So the easier thing is Metamorph spawns, 1, 2, and I start moving, you know? I mean Essence Drain and Bane. And then I start moving. And the same on the Awakener. And this is why I said no to Blight, because I don't get a leech or regen from that, and I have to be in melee range. And I think casters have a massive advantage in this league based on all of these bosses here, especially in League Start. Maybe later on, if somebody has like 50 Exalt gear on the melee, it should still be super, super strong. Alright, so that's why I wanted to talk about the versions of Blight, Bane, then Essence Drain, and so on. And I think at the moment, just switching from Blight to Essence Drain made the build a lot smoother, especially with this double curse, or double dot. The only problem is sometimes you have the option to stand still and do damage. So you're applying those two, Essence Drain, Bane, and then you have 4 seconds nothing to do, because both your damages are applied, you do full maximum damage, so you're standing there and be like, God, I wish I would have Blight, you know? So maybe I'm even going to build in a third mechanic. And if you're saying now, hey, wait a second, you could use Blight, cast while channeling, Soul Rend, or the mana cost that you said before, would be an option. Still, again, I don't want to be in melee range, I'd rather stay on range. Okay, that's that topic. So, I think path of building here of this current version is in the description below. Probably going to be switching out some other stuff here, but I know you guys always argue that I'm not posting a path of building, but I'm just posting what I have right now as I'm recording this video. If it does look different tomorrow, then check back tomorrow and take the new one, I guess. Alright, to the other part, let's switch the scenes, because now we're going to take a look at my last Awakener. And so, we're going to go for a desktop. Good, and we have this fight here, okay? Good. So, mbX doubleception, great. So, I want to talk about here about a couple of things. If you are new to this encounter, what to expect. So, you're fighting the Awakener here in this area, right? These storms are hurting like hell. He does a lot of things here, and I'm going to pause the video a little bit after every phase or something, so to go over some mechanics that I found out, basically, right? So, here is the perfect example why I said I don't want to stand still. He's always shooting a beam, like, right? He's always shooting a beam, and then he has some time to die or something, and then he shoots 3 beams in a row. And as you see over here, I use both dots, and then I have time to walk around, and he will never damage me. Good example here. You see, here triple damage, here 1 beam, so I wait for his beam. He uses his beam, I use Essence Drain. He uses beam, I use Blight. Bane. He uses beam, I use Essence Drain to refresh, you know? And this is basically how it is. And then he teleports around sometimes. This is the easiest phase of all, you know? He's just like standing there shooting his beams. As long as you're moving around, absolutely no problem. Just keep your dots up and the damage will go through. And yes, if you're saying, oh my god, mbX, you're doing absolutely no damage, this guy has a lot of life. And as I said, I'm playing here with a double 6-link. I mean, obviously not min-maxed gear. I could have with perfect gear, I could do like 3 times more damage. And I think it's even on 2-player base, but I'm not entirely sure. I don't think so, because otherwise there would be this 50% I can buff Napim here. Because this was not my Awakener, it was Napim's Awakener that invited me to try it. Talking way too much. Right, the next thing is, Basically, this his image here that is flying around in the earth. Here, you see the leg here a little bit. Here you see it. This dude will also do abilities. But I would say the longer the fight goes, the more stuff he's doing. At the moment, this is just the easiest part ever. You see, he's just teleporting around, shooting a beam. That's so easy clap, you know, easy to dodge. Just like walk around and apply your debuffs and you're good. Oh god, I went to the wrong... Ah, fucking hell. I think we should be here again. Sometimes he's making big beams. This dude on the top side. And here also a meteor, as you see. Basically, it is on Owl, where you see before they hit, you see some markers on the floor. So you just go away from this. It's practice. I know, in the start I got hit by that, I got one-shot at everything. It is practice. But after some time, you get very used to this mechanic, and it's actually pretty easy. So, let's continue here. I know this video is a little bit longer here. As you see here, you see the markers. But the fight takes that long. But I think it's a good option here to show you guys how this fight looks like and how far I progressed yet. Alright, nothing too special over here. Now, the big guy will do, I think, this double beam. Now, here you saw the markers as well when with these small little flames on the floor, right? We have it here. You see those spikes here, and everywhere where there's a spike, and you cannot even see my mouse pointer again. Fucking hell. I hate it. So, capture settings, mouse pointer, now you see my mouse. I guess in the last, or in the previous video, there is no mouse pointer as well. Sorry for that. So, you see those spikes here, and everywhere is a spike, it will hit this meteor. So just try to stay away from that. So, once the camera moves away, you know the next phase is beginning. And this phase is the worst phase of all. This is the, what I say, cloud phase. That means, he will spawn, he is now untargetable. And he will now spawn... such as Cyclone, like on the floor here, on the other sides here, he will spawn that. What I do is, I move away and I wait. Because you have to think about, he is moving, and the Cyclone that, or the cloud that he spawned is also moving. And the way to deactivate this phase is, you need to get below him. So you cannot do that because he's, at the moment, he is on top of this cloud. So I'm gonna go to my safe position, which is this on top of here. And I just wait a couple of seconds. And then I know, okay, in this fight, in the seconds that I'm waiting here, he is moving somewhere, the cloud is moving somewhere. So I need to try to flame dash below him to get him down on Earth again. And the problem is, these cyclones here, or these storms, they are dragging towards you. So you need to be careful where you're standing, where you're walking, because these clouds are always moving. And when you are like here on the top side, and there's two clouds coming in here, you have no way to go. You're just gonna die, because you cannot get through that, because if you flame dash into that, you're just gonna instantly die. So, as you see, there is no way through, so I go back, so I try the other way around, trying to find a place where I can get to him. And as soon as you're close to him, he will start doing his abilities again. As you see, here is the pepperoni here, so I know he is here. Here I see a little bit of his feet, so I know he's there. But he's still on top of his cloud, so I cannot go there. And this is like the beam that he's doing. It's like two beams. As soon as they collapse, it's a massive explosion. As you see over here. So I'm waiting here. I'm trying, and I see I cannot access him. So I'm trying to go back to my safe position and just wait a little bit longer. Or I just move around and try to access him from the other side. But I see here is everything conquered. I see he's doing his abilities again. So you need to try to get him when he is not at his cloud, you know? And this is like the worst shit thing ever. You need a lot of practice here and patience, you know? That's why this fight also takes so long, because you cannot like skip that phase or something, you know? So, and this is how it goes. Now I see he's free. See that? Now I can move below him, I flame dash below him, and then he says another text, the others found, there is like a conversation, and now he comes on, he drops again, and the clouds move away from the fight scene. It was a little bit risky here, but I said, like, you know what, he has this one small area where I could flame dash below him, and another part I flame dash too close to the cyclone and I'll just die. But now I'm getting close to him and the fight starts again. The same part as before. And now, as I said, the clouds move away, now you can fight him. This is on stage 1. He will make a crater here where you're in the middle. And there are some spikes here that you can hardly see here. And these are like shining. And this is where you have to go out. You cannot pass through it. You cannot flame dash out. You have to move this way out here. And there is always this marker here. And if it takes you too long, there's the meteor crashing in and you're dead. Alright, next. He makes some kind of... I mean, we're gonna see that again. And this is the new abilities that he has. He's making this crater and he's making this shockwave, okay? If he's making a shockwave, I'm trying to get this one again. I mean, he will do it more often anyway, so you're gonna see how that looks like. This is just the addition that he gets now after this first phase. So, here again the crater, you see on the left side there are these sparkles, so I know I have to go to the left side to move out before the meteor hits. Alright, so triple shoot, here it is. So he makes like some niche or whatever you call it, and you have to move to him. Because this is how you get out, because he will now make his weird balls shooting in the side of this trench here, trench line or whatever it's called. So you have to move to him to walk out of it. That's the next important thing here. Okay, let's keep on going. What is the next part here? I mean, we're gonna skip a little bit. Here is another meteor. I found the exit right away, so I just move out. So in this phase, you have these two options again, right? The dude, here you see it perfectly. These two walls, and he will shoot projectiles along this wall. So to get out, you need to get too close to him and just walk away from the other side, as I see over here. Perfect. Easy clap. So now we have like cloud phases again, I think. So we're just browsing through because this takes quite a while, okay? So he keeps on going, and this dude on the top side as well. Here the camera moves out again, so I know it's about to hit the cloud phase again. So I move to my safe position and chill a little bit. So I'm getting used to it, like trying to get to him again, right? So let's go further ahead. Because now we get to the next phase. I don't know exactly where to get to the next phase, if it's percentage, if it's a timer or something. But as you see, now he's free. I move below him, and now I can spawn him getting down here. And now it starts to get harder, okay? The thing is, I'm not sure I had this one yet where I got him down. It seems like on this try that every time you get him down, he has new abilities. Or harder abilities. Because now you're gonna see... besides all the shit that the big guy here on the left side is doing with the double beams that are clashing together and these, what I call the meteor shower or the pepperonis, the things that are clashing in. So here you have the next thing. This is a double crater, okay? As you see, as the same as the first, you have a way to get out, but there's an outer crater as well. And as you see, there is now two markers. So you have to find a way to move out from the first, then move to the bottom side and get out of there as well before the meteor hits. And as you can imagine, it's getting worse and worse and worse. So now this is the second phase or the third phase or 15th phase, I don't know. At least the mob has already less than 50% life, everything fine. And every single ability that he has is getting worse. See, here is the double crater again. I get out instantly here, both on the same side, easy clap. That was quite nice. But now we move further. So I think after he reached like 25%, there was another phase where he's kind of getting even bigger. I think it is this phase. No, here's the double beam. Always try to be safe. And I think pressing a Maxima Chaos... Oh, this is the point, you know? This is exactly where I thought I could flame dash below him. But then you saw it was like too close. I was like, shit, you know what? Let's try. He's close. Let's flame dash below him. I wanted to flame dash in, flame dash out to trigger him, you know, but I died within. Shouldn't have. You know, like it's rough. It's rough. So the next part here, we'll lead further. This is the part now. So I'm getting him down again because he's somewhere in the middle, I guess. And I think he's now bigger than before, way bigger than before, as you see. And now we have triple craters, so you have to move out from the first, from the second, and from the third. And for some reason, I never managed to get out of all three, but for some reason, I never got damage from the meteor. I don't know if this is intended or buggy or something, because it seems like I cannot leave the second circle. See, I go off for the first, and now I try to get out. Oh, fuck. Okay, this was actually super close. I actually managed to get out once, but the other tries I did not. So the next thing is, he's spawning some kind of death line, I would say, right? You can flame dash over it, but this is like a death line. So he will just make a circle, and this is like bouncing, or at least like turning, and then he shoots from a different angle, and he spawns his friends that are all shooting, and they are blasting together, and this is almost how I died. This is how I died. Because he's Naik. This is the last phase I went into, and now this is where I ripped all the other 5 portals, so we're gonna see again this phase where at the start there is like this circle.
Second phase.
So let's try.
I start to love this encounter. I don't know. I think this is.
And it's getting more and more fun. I'm like super hyped about this encounter. It's like so interesting. So here you see triple this way, and then this is like blowing you away, you know? So I was bugged here, and the meteor clashed in. I don't get any damage, and I was like, what the fuck? So now he calls his friend. They make this weird circle. It's now moving. So as I said, you can flame dash over, but if it hits you, you're dead. And then he makes his weird beams, and I have no idea. This is as far as I could get. Every time, I don't know if I could damage him, but every single time ended like this. I'm getting out of the 3 craters here. He's making this weird circle that is turning around. Then he calls his friends, and then he beams you down. This is as far as I could get, and this is the rest of the 4 deaths. So we're not gonna watch any further. But this is how it looks like, and this is the next couple deaths as well. So good. Let's switch back to the other scene. And as I said, sorry again for not having the mouse pointer. My software is so buggy. It's just streams are crashing. I just need a new PC. It is like it is. Good. We made the build update. We made Discord. The path of building is in the description below. As I said, we're gonna drag this build. We're gonna kill the Awakener. It's just a little bit more practice and a little bit more gearing, because I wrote down here some things that I want to change. I think it is the DPS calc. So this is my current DPS, okay? This is my current Shaper DPS. My Bane 600,000, my Essence Drain 700,000. If I continue buying 21, 23 gems with an Empower, I can get Essence Drain to like 900,000. If I make a bow with like Socketed Chaos gems and so on, or a level of Socketed Support gems, I could get to like 1.35. And with a change on the tree and anointments, I could get to like 1.8. So this is what I'm going to try in the next couple of days, trying to get a crafted bow. So we have the 6-link Essence Drain, and we can get now 761 and later 1.8 million or even 2 million. So as you see, there is a lot of damage potential still in there. Although, as I said, you're gonna need some crafting luck to do some kind of stuff. And I think at some point it's all about gearing, and it is a real gear test here. I don't think that... probably there's a handful of builds that can actually pull that off. But on the other hand, as I always say on all these encounters, whether it's Uber Elder, Shaper, and now the Awakener, it's all about practice. I remember my first Uber Elder took 14 sets on a 10 endurance charge Juggernaut until I got him for the first time. And in the end, like 2 leagues later, I did it with Flame Dash Totems. A complete meme build. But this is how safe you get on these encounters. You learn them, you practice them, you know exactly when they are doing what. And I think after I've killed the Awakener then like 2 or 3 times, then it will be like, oh god, easy clap, you know. But it is, at the moment, it is super hard. Okay, enough talking, more progress coming in right now on Twitch TV/mbXtreme if you want to chill. And we're gonna farm up the last Conquerors, and every 4 Conquerors we have 1 more Awakener try, and we're gonna progress this. Dude, thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.